Hi. I wanted to talk about Virgo in the seventh house because honestly, this placement drives me crazy, and um, I try my best to deal with it, and it seems difficult. At least in my own life, it's part of my chart that I struggle with the most, and that probably gives me the most anxiety. Um, so I wanted to talk about it and kind of go through it. I'm probably going to project a little bit of my experience with it into how I'm teaching it. Um, and if you guys have advice on how to deal with this or you have this, please let me know. Because I feel like I'm totally overwhelmed by this part of myself all the time. And I take into consideration the fact that it's opposite my Saturn Pisces rising. Um, and that's happening. And yeah, I also have Jupiter in Libra, but it's like in between my seventh and my eighth house. Um, and that kind of has something to do with it, but sorry, into the video. So the seventh house, and this is just how I'm interpreting it, based off my own personal experience and like intuition about the metaphors and everything like that. Um, the seventh house is about work and service and relationships when Virgo is there. I that sentence is opposite, but if you catch what I'm understanding, it represents all those things. It's got this very like Libra Virgo energy to it where it's very balanced and it really wants to heal other people in relationships um and be of service to the person that they're in a relationship with. They want to always be trying to help them get better and be critical, and this is where it gets difficult, is because personally I get into these spaces where I feel like I'm constantly critical or judgmental of other people, and I don't like that quality. And the thing is that behind that, it's like, yes, I'm judging everybody's health and being very critical, because Virgo represents health and it's very analytical. And when you have it in the seventh, that's just what you see. You can like see all of the things within people that maybe are broken or fixed or need to be fixed or have been fixed or they're working on or they're healing on. So basically you are able to see everyone's progress, and then once you're put into a position like that, you really just want to help and give advice and like be there for somebody and be a healer and be a helper. And there's nothing wrong with that, but when you project it onto um your relationships with other people that aren't totally like in a relationship with you for that reason, it can really hurt them and cause you anxiety and always trying to find the perfect person, or like when you do find the perfect person, not even being satisfied with that, but like wanting to be better and wanting to fix them and heal them. And it's because you want to see them in their most elevated form, and that would make you so happy and feel pure and lovely and at home with the earth. But Virgos, like, you need to realize that even though what you think something is that's right and good and perfect with the world is not what someone else's definition of that is. So yeah, like, it's really not. And so it's hard to be objective. And then you get into like this place where you just put yourself above other people. Like Virgo in the seventh, Virgo wants to like stay pure and innocent and not interact with other people or have intimate relationships because it is messy, and there's parts of yourself that you don't want to fix or aren't acknowledging, that when you see other people, it reflects it in you. I hope that this is making sense. I never really know. um it just, it hurts me to have this placement because I think my Jupiter in Libra wants to love everybody and just be really, really expansive, and it's pushing on my 7th, even though it's not fully able to be there, and it's also pushing on my 8th, which is a separate topic. But with Virgo here, it's so hard to love everyone because people are flawed, and so are you, and it's just something that you are gonna have to accept about yourself, like, and others. Nobody is perfect. Life is not perfect. Human beings are not perfect. We are all here to learn something. And so by definition of that, we are all students and therefore equalized. And we may learn from different teachers and at different paces and such like that, but like, we're all gonna graduate, and it's not that big of a deal. And if you graduate early, instead of like being condescending to the students that haven't made it yet, be a teacher back at the same schools that you used to learn from. So if you struggled with certain things in your life, for example, I really struggled with self-identity for a long time, and that is really why I came to astrology. Like, I have never really talked about that because it's kind of personal, but I really never really knew who I was, and I still struggle with that to a degree, but it's been plaguing me ever since I was born. And once I realized that I was a Pisces rising, because I had known what zodiac was, whatever sun sign, I'm a Cancer. I knew that I was almost a Gemini. That's all I knew till I was like 20, 21. I didn't think it was anything else. I didn't pay attention to it much, but like, I knew everyone's sun sign in my life, and I thought about it a lot. And I forget how I stumbled across birth charts, probably like spiritual people on YouTube, and I found my birth time, well, what I originally thought that it was, and I put it in, and I got my chart and everything like that, and I was a Pisces rising. And I looked up what that meant, and it started to just really make a lot of sense for me. Like, everything. Why all my interactions are the way that they are, why I feel so lost as a person and so confused about who I am, but how I can just be like a shapeshifter and be so spiritual on an everyday level, and how I act with everything. I want it to be infused with universal love and emotion, and I just can't help it, and I'm psychic, and like all this crap that I had never identified with. And then my birth chart gave me permission to identify with certain things and help me understand myself. And then I just got deep into it and did my whole birth chart and discovered that there was like a language behind it, and that it's evolving and changing, and that there's other people that know this language that you can like communicate with over the internet. And it's just wild. And then I started making videos, and I guess I'm talking about all of this because it's really healing. So yeah, you're just gonna have to understand who you are, and know that you're not perfect. And yeah, everyone that has 7th house Virgo pretty much would have a Pisces rising too. So I guess that's why I'm talking about it. So that's what makes it difficult too, is that your Pisces rising is trying to like interact with everything on a day-to-day basis in one kind of a way, and your 7th house is very different. I'm sure this is true for most people, but with a Pisces Virgo axis like this, it's just like, it's intense, because you just want to heal and help, but you pick up so much chaos, and you see so much chaos in other people, and sometimes you start to identify with that, and then you start to pick apart yourself, and that's really not good. Some way that I've been healing this axis are to love myself more, and realizing that like the more that you consciously love yourself and choose to make the decision to love yourself, because honestly at the end of the day it's a choice, and you have to stand up for yourself and choose to love yourself consistently, and it's not always easy, but once you kind of force yourself to do it for a while, or even in a way pretend or practice what that feels like day in and day out, it will eventually get to a point where it is permanently locked into your subconscious heart space, and it just kind of emanates from you, which regenerates you as it's happening, and it also really allows you to be open with other people and to kind of manifest things from your heart space a little bit easier, and to connect with things through your heart a bit easier. Nature definitely helps this placement a lot, and just breathing and meditating and channeling. Virgo is earthy, but it is the counter spiritual side. All the signs can be spiritual. That's something I'd love to talk about, but Virgo and Pisces are religious and spiritual in a very specific way that is all encompassing of their everyday reality. And Virgos isn't often seen like that because they're so logical and everything, but that's the cool part. They're the logical, earthy, grounded, like, this is our book of text, these are our laws, these are our practices. It doesn't matter what interpretation of your own soul's journey and mission, whatever. But everyone has practices of like fasting, or breathing air in the morning, or looking at the sun first thing when you wake up, or going on a run every day for 15 minutes. Like, it doesn't matter. We have these rituals that we do and this magic that we practice. And when you have Pisces Virgo energy a lot in your chart even, you're very drawn and called towards spiritual service and being a monk, and being like, that is the balance of the two of them. You're so innocent and pure, but you're connected to everything. It's pretty wild, and it's a lot. These two signs I love as opposites, and when it's your ascendant descendant, that's a big part of your life. It's not your whole chart or anything, but it's really important. It's kind of like the two sides of the coin, and that's happening all the time. I don't always know how to describe these things with words, but I hope this video was interesting at the very least. I haven't really talked too much about descendant signs, and I'm gonna go into more stuff that I haven't talked about. Somebody wanted me to talk about trines. The reason I'm holding off on that is because I'm gonna do a whole like astrology 101 thing, and probably one of the videos in that series will be me describing all of the aspects and the math behind it, and like why these effects happen and the signs that it happens with, and that like it's a very good lengthy topic, and I don't feel like I'm prepared to discuss it just yet, because I want to get a different audio visual setup going on so that I can do a better job of that. And it's something that I take very seriously, because it's a very fundamental piece of information that a lot of other things build off of. So I'm saving those kind of topics for a bigger project that I want to do online through my website. It'll probably be like an email subscription where you get the videos sent to you and you learn, and there'll be like assignments, not that they're graded or anything, but just to kind of like challenge you a little bit and help you understand it by yourself, so that by the end of the whole program, you should have an incredibly rich and complex ability to read a chart. That's my hope, like your own or other people's, whatever. That's kind of my intention behind that. So if you guys are interested in that, I will keep it posted. I have a blog on my website that I only have a couple posts. It's something that's probably going to take more time to develop, but if people are interested in that, and I'm going to kind of play around with topics a lot, that's always there. And then I have all my astrology services that I provide, and all my animal services that I provide, how to contact me, pricing, what they're about, whatever, on the website. And then I have kind of an about me mission statement, donation page, the projects that I'm working on. Like, I'm trying to manifest this. I'm proud of myself for making it this far. I started in October to actually really take any of this seriously, and I feel like I've made a decent amount of progress with that. So, Virgo descendant. I'm trying to channel that through for you guys. I don't know if that's coming through or not. But yeah, like I said, leave me some comments about how you deal with this. I feel like I got off topic and all over the place, but it's just hard for me to be unconditionally accepting of people sometimes. And I wish that I had that in me, because I know that it's important and I'm working on it. So anyway, much love, peace.